My name is Tara Combs. I am a licensed professional counselor and director of the Rising Center. Today, I am here to talk to you about trauma. Have you heard this word before? Maybe you've heard it used in conversation. I once was talking with a friend who was telling me about training her daughter to sleep in her toddler bed. She described her daughter's response, which was crying and pleading with her mother. And then she made the comment that she felt like she was traumatizing her daughter. Now, I don't believe that's the case, but my point is that my friend is not a mental health professional, but yet she is familiar with the term trauma. Maybe you've heard about trauma before because you've experienced it. Through an assault, a car accident, the sudden death of someone close to you, a natural disaster, or something else life-altering. Or maybe you know nothing about trauma at all. No matter what your level of knowledge is about trauma, it's still important to know about. Trauma can have devastating effects on one's physical and mental health, leading to shorter and sicker lives. But there is something you can do about it. So what is trauma? Trauma is a person's response to a life-altering event. There are many things that one might consider a traumatic event, but recent research literature has shown us that whether someone will experience trauma has less to do with the event than it does with the person's perception of the event. For example, one may or may not consider divorce a traumatic event, yet some children still report symptoms of trauma, such as nightmares, trouble sleeping, intrusive and distressing thoughts, and anxiety. At the Rising Center, we provide services to people experiencing trauma specifically related to sexual violence and child sexual abuse. We know that trauma has nothing to do with what is wrong with you and has everything to do with what has happened to you. It is completely normal to experience trauma symptoms after surviving sexual violence. That is why we have victim advocates, crisis counselors, and licensed clinicians to support you and facilitate healing. Our approach is trauma-informed. What this means is that we intentionally create an environment that allows survivors to feel safe, welcomed, and understood. We even focus on the smallest of details of our physical surrounding to consider how it's going to make a survivor feel. Our ultimate goal is to decrease the impact of trauma in a survivor's life. To do this, we help survivors recognize and build protective factors in their lives. Protective factors are the opposite of risk factors. Protective factors help people improve their health and well-being. More importantly, they give a person the ability to withstand other events in life that may be traumatic. Protective factors might look like support systems, resiliency, social connections, healthy coping skills, and self-care. In conclusion, I would like to encourage you to develop your own protective factors if you have not already. One way to do that is through practicing self-care. Self-care might look like prayer, meditation, journaling, positive affirmations, positive self-talk, exercise, eating healthy, and many more. One of my favorite forms of self-care is listening to music, so I leave you with this song called Speak Life.
So speak life.